Good morning, Mary. Let's lay out some facts, alright? The US has a GDP of $30.507 trillion, the largest in the world. We also spend $4.9 trillion every year on healthcare. It's about $14,570 a person. Despite that, though, we rank last overall in health outcomes. That is to say, we do a poor job when it comes to deaths by preventable diseases and overall life expectancy. Despite the seemingly numerous low-cost options available, alongside attempts from representatives to make healthcare more affordable, it seems like the US, and especially Texas, don't want people to have adequate healthcare. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit further. Let's assume you're an adult trying to get health insurance, and despite everything, you can't. You aren't covered under your parents' insurance, either because they can't afford it or just decided not to put you under their insurance. You have no children, you aren't disabled, you aren't even over 65. So what are your options? The first thing that comes to mind is Medicaid, a federal system designed to assist states in providing medical care to eligible people. The issue with this, however, is that to be eligible for Medicaid, you have to be a child, disabled, over 65 years old, or have children. Okay, so you aren't eligible for that. Thankfully, the Affordable Care Act allows you to search the marketplace for health insurance. Each state is required to seek to ensure adequate participation by health insurance insurers, competition in the health insurance market in the state, and value for consumers. What this means is each state has a marketplace where citizens can search for their healthcare options, compare prices, and get savings. But there's a catch. There's a limit on how poor you're allowed to be. If you make less than $15,650, quote, your income also falls below the range to qualify for financial help on an insurance plan in your state. So what do we do now? The two options remaining for you are to attempt to visit a community health center. Community health centers are essentially a safety net. They're both publicly and privately funded. Coming from my own experience, these places are good safety nets. They allow for cheap healthcare and prescriptions with sliding scale billing, but there is a cost. One might have to wait quite a while to get an appointment, especially for a new patient, and you may have to travel quite a bit to get to your nearest health center. My family tried to go to a physical therapy health center and had to drive about 2 hours. Alright, so what's our second option? Fuck. Okay, but what about our representatives? What are they doing about it? Well, I live in Texas, so let's start off with, first, our governor, Greg Abbott. Unfortunately for us, Greg Abbott's official website has no mention of healthcare under his Initiatives tab. There's no mention under the Safer Texas or More Prosperous Texas of healthcare or health insurance anywhere. But that's okay. What about our senators? First up, John Cornyn. He actually does have a healthcare section. It states, Texans deserve lower costs, better coverage, and greater access. Though in the next paragraph, he mentions, supporting efforts to repeal and replace Obamacare, also known as the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act I mentioned earlier. Okay, but what about our main man, Ted Cruz? On his official website under Issues, he also has a healthcare section. The first line reads, since his first day in office, Senator Cruz has been a leading voice for repealing Obamacare. So where do we go from here? We can't get it from a government, we can't get it from a job, and our representatives seem more focused on other things right now. While yes, it does actually seem very bleak, there is hope to be had. Community health centers aren't incredible, but they also aren't terrible. You can get adequate health care from them, and they provide critical health care to communities' most vulnerable people. Thankfully, too, there are over-the-counter medications, which can provide a good substitute for proper medical care. It's not full medical care, but it's something. And finally, against all odds, we still are a republic. I understand everyone has different priorities, but I encourage you to look what your representative can do for your health care. This isn't the Halloween video I actually expected to make, but of all the scary things I think about in the world, the idea that someone I love can't get the care that they need scares me much more than any monster would. Mary, I'll see you next week.